Well, hello. My name is Grohlvana, and welcome to the first episode of something new. You may be wondering why I'm talking such a calming tone, something that you're probably very used to on my channel. I of course, am known for being exceedingly calm and collected, and not just all over the place, in terms of my commentary, and very high energy. Not that whatsoever. We're doing something a little new today. I wanted to do this for quite a while. I don't know what I'm going to call this series, but I wanted to try my hand at reading the books of Skyrim, not only to give myself a new affinity for the lore and stories of the Elder Scrolls world, but also to test myself in the realm of voice acting. Now, for those that don't know, I have quite an interest in voice acting. I am an entire amateur, complete amateur. Never voiced anything. Oh, that's not true. I have voiced a game on Steam, but it was a very small project. I voiced a character, not the entire game. I've just always been really interested in the job. You know, it directly involves what I do, talking all the time, playing video games, doing voices here and there. Fully recognize that I am an entire amateur, utterly. But at the same time, I think this would be a good opportunity to not only try to test out my range, voice a wide variety of different characters, but also supply a calming video, complete with Elder Scrolls music, which most of the time is very calming, but also just, again, to get a newfound affinity for the stories, for the lore, to read a lot of the books that I've never read. A lot of that stuff I just have never had time for in terms of the playthroughs and stuff. So yeah, that's the goal here. Now, I did an entire recording, and it was, I think, funny, but it kind of took away from the point of this video, because I spawned here in Raven Rock, and then immediately, or in Solstheim, and immediately I was set upon by an Elder Dragon, which followed me after bending its will here to Hraldulf's house, which I'll show you on the map. So we are here in Hraldulf's house, which I wanted to do kind of a faux Skyrim Hidden Treasures on, because there's some interesting stuff. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this episode and then reload the normal save and just kind of do it that way, because there is potential for completing, because Hraldulf's house has a story to it, but that's kind of not why I'm here. So basically, long story short, it was awful, because we're on legendary difficulty, and I had to take care of the dragon, and a burnt Spriggan, and all sorts of Ash Guardians, and then come down here and deal with the Reavers, and I was going to do, like I said, a combined Skyrim Hidden Treasures episode. If you don't know what that is, basically just exploring the story of unmarked, of areas that are not tied to quests. And there was like a letter on the table that got blown apart just because of all the explosions, and it was just a mess. So I reloaded it, and here we are, and we're going to try our hand at actually doing what I planned to do, which was read some of the stories, try different voices, and provide just a change, a calming episode, which is just, again, not something you normally see on my channel. So the goal today, I figured why not start with the best, which I've turned off the HUD, but this right here happens to be the Lusty Argonian Maid Volume 2, and this over here happens to be the Lusty Argonian Maid Volume 1. Now, you can get both in one with the folio, which we've already done. I'm not sure if I can grab that again or not. Either way, the folio just contains Part 1 and Part 2, and there is a Part 2 for those that don't know. So there it is. We're going to sit down and read it by candlelight, and yeah, that's the plan. And I plan to, kind of go through, if people enjoy this. If people don't, it will at least serve as a brief reprieve from all the intensity that is Skyrim on legendary difficulty. Oh, nice. I was going to say, are you going to sit down with me? Excellent. Okay, so can I read this book while I'm sitting down? I suppose I have to just read it through my inventory, but that'll work. Yeah, I want to find different books in Skyrim, maybe even the other Elder Scrolls, just sit down and then just like read through them and try to basically practice voice acting. So it just acts as like a three-pronged idea. Again, very simplistic idea. Just kind of interested to see what people think about it. Nevertheless, as I said, I wanted to start with the Lusty Argonian Maid Volume 1 and Volume 2, which I think are going to be quite short. But this is also great because people can suggest what they want to hear. And the ultimate goal is, again, I know I'm a complete novice. I'm going to have to get over my gonna have to get over my own insecurities about it, because I do believe I do have, like, potential for voice acting. It's one of those things, and I learned this by streaming on Twitch. Streaming Twitch Sings, which is karaoke. I think I have potential to sing too, but the problem is, like, I'm really insecure about it, because I've heard people that can sing amazingly well, and I've heard people that can voice act amazingly well, and it's like, man, I don't feel comfortable throwing my hat into the ring when these people have such talent. So at the start here, I just want to say, I know I'm a complete novice, but I do genuinely want to try to get better, and I figure what better avenue than using my channels to do that. So without further ado, I present The Lusty Argonian Maid Volume 1 by Crassius Curio, who you can meet, by the way, in Morrowind, as I mentioned. He's actually part of, I think, the main quest? I always think it's one of the guilds, but I think it's the main quest you meet this guy. Anyways, this is going to be quite cringy, I think, but it's going to be rough at the start, and then maybe just over time I will get better. So, let's give it a shot. Act 4, Scene 3, continued. Lifts her tail. Oh, God. Right off the bat, this is an Argonian. Oh, man. An Argonian female, at that. Which obviously is very raspy.
Certainly not, kind sir. I am here but to clean your chambers.
That was a bit rough. Cranchius Colto, who sounds like a rough and tumble, a very, very broad... booming voice sounding Imperial. Is that all you have come here for, little one? My chambers? Lifts her tail.
I have no idea what it is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid.
Cranchius Colto. So you are my dumpling, and a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail. Lifts her tail.
You embarrass me, sir.
Cranchius Colto. Fear not. You're safe here with me. Lifts her tail.
I must finish my cleaning, sir. The mistress will have my head if I do not.
Cranchius Colto. Cleaning, eh? I have something for you. Here. Polish my spear. Lifts her tail.
But it is huge. It could take me all night.
Cranchius Colto. Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. End of Act 4, Scene 3. Oh, that one's super duper short. God, that was probably extremely cringy. Female voices are incredibly hard for me to do. Not only that, but obviously, like, see, if this was written by, if this had Khajiit characters, I feel like I could do a far better job. I've got, like, the Khajiit thing down, I think. But female characters in general, plus, like, weird lizard creatures, that's definitely a challenge. Plus, like I said, getting into my own head about how I'm doing is a challenge as well. The Lusty Argonian Maid Volume 2. By Crassius Curio. Act 7, Scene 2, continued. Lifts her tail.
My goodness, that's quite a loaf. But however shall it fit in my oven?
Cranchius Colto. This loaf isn't ready for baking, my sweet. It is yet to rise. Lifts her tail.
If only we could hurry that along. How would I accomplish such a task?
Cranchius Colto. Oh, my foolish little Argonian maid, you must use your hands. Lifts her tail.
You wish to need... You wish me to... You wish to...
I can't... Wow, I'm surprised the slide's really...
You wish me to knead the loaf? Here?
Cranchius Colto. Of course. Lifts her tail.
But what if the mistress catches me? Your loaf was meant to satisfy her appetite.
Cranchius Colto. Don't fret, my delicate flower. I'll satisfy the mistress's cravings later. Lifts her tail.
Very well, but I'm afraid my oven isn't hot enough. It could take hours.
Cranchius Colto. Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. End of Act 7, Scene 2. So there we go. Those were actually much shorter than I remembered. Oh, man. See, I feel really cringy about that. I don't feel that that was a good performance. I got a long ways to go. But I also think those were quite challenging. What book is this? It was too short. Maybe we give it another one. The Dunmer of Skyrim by Aethel Saris. Let's put that down for now. What else do we have? Yeah, there's a lot of books in here, by the way, for some reason. What's this one? Killing Before You're Killed by Eduardo Corvus. Now, that sounds interesting. I don't know what that one is. Let's give that one a shot since the other two were quite short. Killing Before You're Killed. Killing Before You're Killed by Eduardo Corvus. I don't know who Eduardo Corvus is. What does that name sound like? A Dunmer? Eduardo Corvus. Maybe another Imperial. I've seen many a man rush headlong into battle only to have their life cut short in an instant. I've been a trainer of the warrior arts for many spans, cut from the cloth of a great lineage of knights, blades, and even a distant sellsword or two. It's with this knowledge that I'll try to pen a brief treatise on the subtle art of war. Not mage fire, not archery or criminal throat slitting, but war. Man on man with nothing but a fine bit of steel between them. The first thing you'll need to learn is how to block. The best way to not get killed is to not let the other man hit you. Use a shield, use it well. Now, you'll get tired from this. You may even get a little hurt. But a blocked blow is much better than a landed one. Over time, you'll get better, eventually shrugging off even the mightiest of hits. But beware. Your foes, if they're not base curb bandits, will know how to counter you. They'll hit you with everything they've got in order to open you up and keep on hitting. So watch for these powerful attacks. While it's better to absorb the impact with a 1/4 inch of steel, it's best to try to just step out of their way. Remember, against spells your blocking is useless until you're trained. So get up on mages quickly and let them eat steel. Deserves them right for using a witch weapon. You can also block without a shield as well. Just cross that blow with your sword, though this isn't nearly as effective. And if you decide you're fancy and want to wield 2 blades, you can't block at all, so don't even try. Without both hands on the hilt, you just won't have the strength to counter blows. But with a weapon in each hand, you're much more likely to take your opponent down quickly. The best defense, some say. To wield the blade, there are some fundamentals. Quick strikes are always good, but can be repelled, so watch for your opponent's own defensive postures. Wait for an opening, or create one with your own heavy attacks. Hammers hit hardest, but are slow. Same with maces and all blunt weaponry. Axes are a nice middle ground, while swords are the quickest, but won't stagger your opponent as efficiently with the hard hits. Keep an eye out not to get exhausted. Always try to save a little of your strength to counter blows or even run. Keep moving during a fight. Never let yourself get cornered or surrounded. Pick your threats. Weak spellcasters that can hurt you quick are the first things I fell. The shield is not only a defensive tool. Put your shoulder into it and bash your opponent. This sends them flying and opens them up for quick counter-assaults. Even better, put extra weight into it and power bash your opponent. If they're small, this will put them on their knees. Bigger opponents cannot be staggered by heavy attacks. Only the power bash will really knock them around and create openings for you to exploit. So again, block, counter, bash. Hit them when they're down. They'll show no mercy, so why should you? Battle's about the offense, about catching your foe early and never relenting. Keep moving, keep swinging. If you consider yourself overly powerful, pick up a 2-handed weapon and see your foes fall before you like wheat stalks. They're slow and unwieldy, but they shatter bones and cleave flesh better than anything. The graves are filled with many a mediocre swordsman. If you don't have the stomach for war, try a monk's work. But if you do travel the path of the warrior, learn the basics and keep your head firmly planted on your shoulders, or someone's bound to lob it off. And there we go. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I wanted to try it once. I've been wanting to do something like this for quite a while, like I said. At the end of the day, like I said, I do enjoy reading the stories. It's something that I've wanted to do as well. I just never find time for it in episodes because, we got too many things. If we do a lot of reading, we just don't get to the millions of other things we got to do. So I'm not too sure. I do want to practice voice acting. I'm not sure if it's entertaining for people to watch. My YouTube channel is quite supportive in all of my endeavors, so I wouldn't be surprised if people have a good response to this, even if, it's not something insanely entertaining. But I'm curious. There's a couple of things that are pulling me away from this, like, it could be just cringy. I don't want to come off as I'm trying too hard. I think that's the challenge with voice acting, is that if you're new to it like I am, I just feel like you end up trying too hard. It's not natural. And I think one of the things that you have to learn is how to just emote into your voice acting naturally, like acting, you have to emote. You have to believe you are that person talking as if you are that person. That way it sounds natural. Otherwise you just sound like you're trying. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just wanted to upload this to see what people think about it. If you are interested in more of this, please let me know. This is definitely the type of video where I'm going to pour through the comment sections and see what people think. If you absolutely hate it or think it's just boring or anything, like, feel free to let me know. Also, I'm just curious. Curious to see if people would be interested in something like this as a little aside. You know, maybe even trying to read every book in Skyrim or something, just as a chance to practice my voice acting and maybe give me a chance to, you know, hear from actual voice actors in the comment section. That'd be great as well, and get some tips and hints and try to implement them. Could be fun. Could be, you know, could offer some growth. So yeah, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll just see where this goes from there. And I'll see you in the next one, if there is one. Bye-bye. Hey, it's me, GV. Thanks so much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to watch more of me, I'm live on Twitch pretty much every day. Link in the description. If you want to support what I do, Patreon is the best way. Link is in the description. And either way, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.